So in a nutshell, Novakid is a new generation online English learning solution for kids. We are the largest online English learning school in Europe. We're targeting kids between ages from 2 years old all the way up to 16. And so far, we've had about 500,000 students on our platform. So as a father of three, and as somebody who's definitely interested in raising my children bilingual, I can totally understand the benefits and the challenges of that. Obvious benefits are that you just open up the world for them. Suddenly they can come to practically any place in the world, and they can strike up conversations, make connections, and in my mind, this is totally invaluable. Something that I really want my kids to have. Something that I had to work really hard to get for myself in kind of regular language learning environment. And I'm hoping that with new technologies, we can make it a lot more natural and easy for them. Obviously, there are some challenges to raising bilingual kids as well. First and foremost is when you live in a non-English speaking environment, where do you get that environment for a kid? Because obviously, learning a language requires a certain amount of language input for the kid, and live practice with live conversation partners. How do you do it? There are obviously some conventional methods. You can ship your kid off to Oxford or something like that, which is, some people do it, but it's pretty expensive. So I was looking for a more practical solution, and basically using online technology is really offering that. This is what Novakid is all about, really making it easier for the parent to provide this high quality, full immersion language environment for your kid. So obviously, online platforms are different, and there are certain things you should definitely consider when you picking one for your kid. I would say number one is it should really offer different formats of learning for your kid, because life is, gets in the way usually, right? And not always you can have the same schedule for your kid. So I would say flexibility is the number one thing to look for, because after all, this is what online is all about, right? Giving you flexibility as a parent. In some cases, you may not be able to take any live classes at all, like maybe when you're traveling or when you have a holiday. In these cases, make sure that it has a really high quality self learning solution implemented as part of the platform that you're joining. Also, of course, in terms of scheduling, it should allow you to schedule any time, any days that it really works for you in this particular point in time. And of course, in terms of the course presentation, I think it's really important to make sure that the course does not really try to teach your kid what he or she is already learning in a school, because obviously most schools do have English classes in place. What I think is really important is that what it adds on top of that. What does your kid get on top of the kind of basic run-of-the-mill school education? And in our case, of course, we definitely believe that full language immersion and a lot of practice is a really important piece of that. In terms of how Novakid can help to the parents, obviously, if you don't speak English, then this is where we shine the most. Because from the parent side, we have fully localized customer support, where you can ask questions, you can clarify things, you can get help with scheduling and everything. But on the student side, you still get this full 100% English immersion, because our teachers do not speak any language except English. So and the methodology itself is built in such a way that it really encourages English only environment for your child. So this is something that you will totally get as part of the package, so to speak, when you join Novakid, regardless whether you speak English or not. For the families where there might be a native speaker, so for example, maybe one parent speaks English, another parent does not. In these cases, I would say one of the biggest values we're bringing is we diversify the language input for the kid. Because, let's face it, just one person speaking to your kid, just having this one conversation partner, is just not enough. It could be okay for the early stages when your kid is just maybe going up to the age of 6 or so. But as the number of social connections explode, obviously the kid would becomes more hungry for language input from other sources other than this one parent that speaks English to him. And this is actually my own personal experience, because I speak English to my kids at home, and at a certain age, it already is becoming really important for them to reinforce the need for that language, because they should see that, hey, I need this language to speak to other people, not just to my dad or to my mom. As I mentioned earlier, diversity of formats is really important. And at Novakid, we actually offer three main formats for learning. One is self-learning, which I already mentioned. It's a highly engaging, really game-like experience for students where, they just basically enjoy coming back to this and learning English on their own time, on their own device, which is, always nice for the 21st century kids. The second one is one-on-one learning, and we also have so-called group learning, which, in my opinion, is actually one of the best ways to learn the language, because uniquely Novakid, because we're such a international platform, we have more than 40 countries present, students from more than 40 countries on our platform, not just from Europe, but from Middle East, from Asia, a little bit from Americas too. So you get your kid placed into essentially what is essentially an international classroom when you join Novakid. And the way it works today is essentially you can buy a basic package, which is a subscription for one-on-one learning. And this package would always include self-learning as well. So basically, you have this kind of maybe 2 times or 3 times a week individual class, and you have unlimited self-learning that you can do on your own time. In addition to that, there is a little extra package that you can purchase, which will enable you to access those group experiences with international group experiences as well, where essentially your kid can practice what he or she learned in self-learning or one-on-one group classes to really make sure that these conversational skills take root. So one piece of news I'm really excited to share is that in December 2024, we're launching a new self-learning app called Novakid Junior. This is app that is focused specifically on preschoolers. Up until now, we mostly focused on kids starting from 5-year-olds and higher. But we always heard from our parents that there is a strong demand for essentially to start as early as possible. And this is the answer to this demand. And this app is perfectly suited for kids starting from 2 years old and older. So definitely, watch out for that and download when it's available. The best way to start with Novakid is really well, first of all, if you want to find out more, definitely go to our website, novakidschool.com. And on that website, first of all, you can download a self-learning app for your kid, which is completely free. So we have 2 versions, as I mentioned, Novakid Junior coming up soon for smaller kids, preschoolers, and we also have Novakid Magic Academy for older kids who are, say, 6 years and older. In addition to that, you can sign up for a free trial class, which is a completely real class that your kid will take with our teacher. So it's not like a sales pitch or anything. It's a real class that your kid will take to really experience what Novakid is all about. Completely free. Go to our website and you will see a way to sign up very easily. And you can also experience the flexibility that I was talking about earlier. You can schedule this class for any time and the day that really suits you. And hopefully you will see Novakid in action, get delighted, and decide to join us.